shit, I walk it. You try to walk in my shoes and your soul probably kick it. I've been at it for 12 years, so I say it's about my time. You stand in my way and your soul will be mine. I hate when people roll up talking about they fly. I hit their ass out the window just to see if they could fly. See, they try to keep me quiet, cause my spit game cause storm. Then you better keep your girl home. My pants down, they swarm. If you think I'm in my prime, then you been misinformed. And the crazy thing about it, this not even my final form.
La vida casi siempre injusta, nobody can resist lo que tengo y me frustra. Amigos falsos siempre hay, con excusa nos quitan la energía, nos turban, dicen cosas confusas. Nobody want to hear you talk shit that you don't know. Everything right here is legit, but we keep it low. Yeah, we keep it low. Todos los días me levanto buscando el peso, buscando los santos que me ayuden a siempre seguir joseando. La vida es una, se va rápido volando. Aprecia lo que tiene y ya no jodas tanto. Muchos se viran, tiran la mala, se creen fancy pero son dos caras. Nunca sabes quién está por la bala. Muchos velagüiras se echan su carnada. Y yo sé que me tengo que cuidar como Bonnie. Dos velas hay que lightear.
Your soul is mine, please define what issue.
Alright. We seem like we up and running. That is Keep It Low, featuring me and La Real. She's a talented Latin producer / artist. So yes, we are working on releasing more music together, doing more collabs together. That song will be coming out on the 26th of this month, I want to say. I'm not quite sure. Double check that. Now I had the link down to the pre-save link down in the description. So if you want to check that out, check that out. And yeah, so we're going to continue mixing vocals today. And as you could tell yesterday, we were starting cleaning up the vocals. We got everything situated. We cleaned up all the blank spots and everything. And today we're going to pretty much go back through, and I got to correct one thing that I messed up on yesterday. And that's simply, let's go ahead and jump into it real quick. Let's jump into it. So I got it right here. So yesterday I came up to the hook area and I had two different hook areas right here. And I could play it and I could tell that was masking in the hook. So
we got the history, we got
it
the
was
time.
masking in the hook,
Now in
and
the
I couldn't
moment,
figure
let's
out
make up a
why there was so much masking inside the hook and why it was canceling each other out. Come to find out, it is because younger me, decided to double the hook because I thought it would sound better that way. I don't know why I thought that would be better, but now that I'm mixing it and everything, it's actually masking the hook. It's cutting out a lot of frequencies. If you don't know what masking is when you got two sound waves playing at the same frequency and everything, and they pretty much counting each other out. They making it hard to hear this frequency together. And yes, that's pretty what masking is. So only thing I had to do to really fix the problem is eliminate one of the tracks. And that's it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to eliminate one, and we're going to continue with the mixing and mastering of everything and seeing where we can go from here. So yeah, again, we're just going to delete this right here. We don't need this anymore. So this whole track is pretty much gone. And I want to go back through my vocal chain for the hook because I was basing this off of having two different mixes together with two different layers together and blending them together to make a fuller vocal. But because it's only one track, that means I can treat it like one track. So I had to go back in and fix a couple of things in it. So we're going to go in here, and the first thing we're going to do is actually open up Nectar 3. And as you know, this is what I like to use for my vocal chain. If you just tuning in today and you didn't see yesterday's, and we're gonna take this and boost it up down here, because the whole thing was I wanted one to boost the low end and the other one to boost the high end. But now that I know this is only one and I don't want it to really like cancel each other out, I'm going to keep it like this because I really want some of the lows in her vocal, because her lows really sound very warming in her vocal. So I'm gonna keep that in there, and I want to play that back just to hear how it sounds. And always, like always, when you're doing anything, you might want to do like a before and after listen to it to make sure you actually making useful changes and you're not just making changes just to make changes. So we're gonna give this a quick listen.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret.
I'm actually gonna take the reverb and stuff off of it too, cause I really want to hear it on its own.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right.
So yes, like I was saying, my whole thing is I want clarity in the vocal. So all the changes I'm making is to really make the vocal more clear and more upfront. So when I do start mixing the beat, which we might get to today, once I start mixing the beat around the vocals, everything gonna sit up top. Everything gonna be crystal clear, just like I want it. So we're just gonna continue from there. So now that I got everything situated as far as the hook, now we're gonna go through, add the compression and the reverb back in, and I want to add a chorus effect. Now auto-tune also got a chorus that I've been using, so I can add that in there and see how it sounds, just to add some more voices into the hook. We're gonna see how that sound. I don't know if I actually want to use this one, but we're gonna see how it sound. And don't be scared to test things out, see how things work. That's one thing that I always tell people. This is always a learning process. Even when you think you got you a vocal chain that's gonna work for you, always test it out. Always try new things. Add new elements in it. Take old elements out just to see how it sounds. You always got the undo button if it don't work. Yes. So let's go ahead and jump back in here. So again, we're gonna just play around with this. I don't think, because she already doubled it, so I'm only gonna add four voices, and we're gonna see how this sounds. And I think the stereo spread. There we go. We're gonna shorten the stereo spread a little bit. Let's try around 40 to see how that sounds.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decision.
I actually think that is way too much.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right. Know your mistakes in the rain and the shine. Yeah, we did it all, yeah, we been.
Yeah, I don't like how that sound. So, like I said, everything is always trial and error. I don't like how that sound. And I have another one that I can try out. I have a few, but that was one of my main ones I always go to. And another one I always go to is it in here? The doubler. Now I'm gonna test this one out also to see if I like this one. Again, I might not even double the vocals, but I just want to double check the hook.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right. Know your mistakes in the rain and the shine. Yeah, we did it all, yeah, we've been through the highs. There
I like
was
this
the
one a
loss,
lot.
but that's nothing to hide.
I like this one a lot more than I like the other one. And we just gonna play with and without just to see if it make a noticeable change, a meaningful change, I should say. because everything has to have purpose, everything has to have meaning. So I just want to double check to see if it's a meaningful change or can we do without it.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decision. We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right.
It don't really change too much. It just add a little bit of room inside the vocals, space it out a little bit, and maybe add one harmony to it. That's about it. I did blend it down. I brought the amount of the effect down a little bit. So I do feel like this is a good change I made to the vocals. So I'm going to leave that in there as far as the hook goes. And I might turn the hook up a little bit compared to the rest of the vocals. I know when I do automation to it, the second verse and the third verse is a lot louder than the first verse. So I might boost the value of the first verse to match the second and third verse. So I'm gonna go back through, give it a quick listen to see if it's anything meaningful I need to change about the vocals and how they sit right now before we start doing any automation or stuff like that.
But you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved it to fade, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring.
One thing I'm hearing is I like the effect, but I may have to calm it down just a little bit. It's the reverb. I like the reverb and how it's sitting up there right now, but I may have to tone it down just a little bit. And I'm gonna give it another listen through just to see. And I might have to actually put a side chain on the reverb also, because I like the tail end of the reverb, but I don't know if I wanted it to overlap the vocals. I mean, it do give it a very spacey feel, and if that's what I'm going for, I'm gonna keep it in there. But it's all depending on what you're trying to go for, how you want your vocals to sound when you're doing this. And always do stuff with a purpose when you're doing mixing. That's one thing that always get lost. People always doing stuff because they see other people doing it. Do it because you will have a purpose behind it. Right now, I do want that spaciness in my vocals, but I don't know if I want that much space in it. So we're gonna go through, listen, and test it out. Again, testing. Always test out stuff on the vocals while you're mixing it.
But you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved it to fade, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering if love's real, then why aren't we? But you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved it to fade, but now I'm thinking we should talk about.
Okay, so one thing I'm noticing about this, I actually think I want to put another reverb on this one. I want to leave this reverb like it is. I want to turn it down a little bit because I do like the spaciness is leaving in there. So I think I'm going to leave that reverb alone, and I'm going to go into add a different reverb for the tail and have that one a lot louder and put a side chain on it. So I think that's what I'm going to do as far as my reverb goes. And if you have any questions, leave it in the chat or drop it down in the comments if you're watching this on the playback. Again, I'm here helping you out. I want to share my knowledge with you and my tactics with you. If I mess up, call me out on it. If you feel like you got a better way of doing it, call me out on it. Put it down there in the comments and everything, and let's talk about it. So again, we're just going to go through and add this reverb. Again, I turned the original reverb we got down, and I'm going to add a second reverb. Now, I don't want to use the same reverb I used last time. As you can see, I'm using the Somatic Space reverb right now. This reverb is useful for me. I like this reverb. I like the layout of it and everything. But I want to use a different reverb on it now. And I want to see if I have a lot of great reverbs that I have, but I don't play with them like I should. I don't test them out like I should. So we're gonna go into, you know what? I think I'm gonna add a delay. A delay would sound better on it. And then we're gonna sidechain the delay so the delay only show at the end. So this is another delay that I just picked up recently. I haven't had time to play with it, so this is my first time playing with it. So forgive me. I'm gonna go through the presets, see if I can find a preset that I like, and then I'm gonna tweak it from there. And I think I'm going to just solo the vocal for now, so I can really get a listen on to the
Put you
reverb.
on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to fate, but now away from one good thing, away from one good thing, away, away from one good thing, away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left.
I do like this one right here, but I want to change it again. This is my first time really messing with this one, and I think this is it right here. I want to quicken the time that it.
Away from one good thing.
That's a little too quick, so we're gonna go up here.
Away from one good thing. Away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering.
Okay, I do like that. I do like how that sound. So right now, from there, I want to add. Yeah, I can't think right now. A side chain. I want a side chain that right there. So when the main vocal is singing or if she's talking, anything like that, the delay do not happen, but the delay do happen at the last end of her sentence. You can also automate this, but I just feel like it's easier just to side chain it. And I'm gonna use my compressor that I always use to sidechain, and that is U. Now again, you can do this with any plugin, but again, I just want to do this with this because I like it, and I might want to go ahead and sidechain the hook too. I think I want to go ahead and sidechain the hook also. That's why I can have both of them going. And then I also want to move this above the delay. I want to move this above the delay.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time.
Am I doing this wrong? Yeah, because you're supposed to be here. And of course, nothing want to work like I want it to.
on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you.
From a movie.
Put you on top. Made my mistake, but at.
Da, 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 da. Of course, it don't want to work. So I might have to just automate this. I didn't want to have to do that, but I might have to automate this. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna automate it. It's gonna be quicker. It's gonna be easier for me right now. So that's what we're gonna do.
Put you on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing.
Okay, so we're gonna go here, automation, and we're gonna go to sends this delay, and we're gonna send you. Close this, and actually, can I do read?
Put you on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left. Put you on top. Made my mistake. Put you on top. Put you on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked.
And again, only thing I'm doing is getting the last words because I wanted the delay on the last
Present,
words.
how we walked away from one good thing. Present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering. If love's real, then if love's real, then why aren't we?
Okay, that's the delay for the first verse, so we can go ahead and play that back so you can hear exactly what I did.
Put you on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to.
Now my thing is I don't like the timing of the delay, so we're gonna work on that timing a little bit more.
Put you on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing.
Cause we do it from maybe like 1/8.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved you to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering if love's real, then why aren't we? We got.
Now I do like that, but I don't like how that last one sound. So we're just gonna go down here and bring this over. And let's see.
Why aren't we?
So I like how that sounds so far. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this so far.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved you to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering if love's real, then why aren't we? We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret.
So I like how that sound. I like the vibe of that so far. I like the energy of that so far. So yes, that's the little moments that we're looking for that really bring the song alive, that really bring atmosphere to the song, really bring emotion to the song, really bring feels to the song. Once you get those moments down, you can start building around those moments. And like I said, the vocals already cleaned up. The vocals already clear, crystal clear. I like how they sound so far. Again, y'all let me know down in the description what you think about this so far, how y'all feel about this format. Y'all let me know how can I improve this and make this a better watch experience for you. I want to really help you the best as I can. So please inform me the best way I can help you, the best way I can show up for you every day. And that's it. I'm still getting used to this format. I'm still used to getting used to going live and everything. So again, just give me any feedback that you have for me. Okay, so now that we have that and we have the verse situated, I do want to level out the vocals in the verse versus the hook. So I'm gonna bring this up right here, and I want to pretty much, I want to see this right here. This is what I want to see.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved you to fate, but now I'm.
So this is right here is capping around -12 dB. And when I go to the second verse,
Saw you out west, knew it was a party, but I didn't get dressed up. Yeah, you know me well, and why aren't we? Didn't get dressed up. Yeah, you know me well. I mean, I saw you out west.
I mean, it's pretty much the same now that I'm looking at it and really like
Always
confirming
be
it.
a mess, but baby, I still got your name tatted on my chest. Like it was good till it was. You know it was worth it. Gonna settle down.
So I might not have to automate the vocals, honestly. I might actually leave them like they are because they pretty much around the same volume. So I think I am going to turn them up a little bit though. Just a tad bit.
Gonna settle down, love you right and slowly. Committed to a fast life, but now you own me. Time now.
I know I need to turn up the hook. And we just going to touch up the hook a little bit. And we got to add some effects to the hook. Make it sweet point, and we got to really make it kiss a little bit, you know? Like we really want the hook to stand out. We really want the hook to be the star of the show. So we're going to turn up the hook a little bit, and then we're going to see what we can add to the hook to help it really stand out.
History, we got the time. Now in the moment.
Now let's balance this out with the verse though.
If love's real, then why aren't we? We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right. No, you.
And again, I might have to go back in and add delay to this because I want the delay effect on this also. And I think that will really help fill in some of those empty spots.
If love's real, then why aren't we? We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right.
So while we're here, let's go ahead and add this delay to it also. We're going to add the delay, and we're going to automate this delay also, and we're going to turn that off while we're here because I don't want to mess up anything as far as that. And I think I may add a ping also. Okay, and we're gonna start off.
We got the history, we got the time. We got the history, we got the time. Now in. We got the time. Now in the.
You know what? Now that I'm listening to it, the delay not gonna last long enough for it to play right there, so we're just gonna let
We got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decision.
Okay, we're gonna grab that no decision.
Regret no decision.
And we're gonna turn that on.
No decisions. But this one I wanna get.
But get right, we're gonna grab that also.
Get right.
And we're just gonna add that effect in there, just a little bit of ear
No, you miss days in the rain and the shine. Yeah, we did it all, yeah, we been through the highs. There was the lows, but that's nothing to hide. My one and only, and my ride or die. My ride or die. I mean, I saw you out.
So that's pretty much it right there. As far as the verse and the delay, I mean the hook and the delay. Haha.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right. No, you miss days in the rain and the shine. Yeah, we did it all, yeah, we been through the highs. There was the lows, but that's nothing to hide. My one and only, and my ride or die. I mean, I saw you out west, knew
So,
it was a
I
part.
feel like that right there is very clear. It helped fill in some of those blank spots. It's definitely a vibe. It's definitely a feel to it. I like it. And right now, as far as the first verse and the hook goes, I pretty much think they done. I just need to make sure the mix is properly right with them. Make sure I have everything that I could do to them done. And again, you don't want to overdo it as far as a mix and a mastering going. You do want to try to keep it as simple as possible and not over process them and processing the life out of them. You really do not want to do that. So
Put you on top, put you on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock.
again, my goal
Loved
is
you
not
to fate, but
to
now
process
I'm
the
thinking
life out
we
of
should
them.
talk
I just want to
about the
bring
past,
enough
about the
feel to
present, how we
I
walk.
just want to do enough process
Away
to
from
bring
one
a
good
feel to
thing
bring a vibe to
that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering if love's real, then Why aren't we?
So like I said, the first verse and the hook is pretty much done. I really don't have much else to do to the first verse of the hook as of right now until after I get the beat mixed around them. So I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. I'm going to go ahead and start on the second verse. The second verse shouldn't be as much work as the first verse because it's pretty much, I already did all the heavy lifting with the first verse. Only thing I really have to do is go in and automate the delay on the second verse. Same with the third verse. Since I already got everything pretty much dialed in as far as the EQ, the compression, everything like that. If you want to see my vocal chain for the vocals, go back and watch the first part. I'll go into depth about each part of my vocal chain, how I cleaned up these vocals, and how I got everything situated. I will have to add saturation to the vocals a little later, but right now I just want to get the cleaning part of it and getting it sitting right and getting everything sounding good to the point. And then I'm going to add a little bit of saturation. I can't speak right now. A little bit of saturation to the vocals just to add that, as people say, that secret sauce, that magic to it. Saturation is not something I'm an expert at yet. I'm still learning how to use saturation myself. That's why I save it until about the end, but it do go in the middle, I mean at the end of my vocal chain, but before all the effects like delay and everything else. So I can actually show you right now. If I pull up Nectar 3 right here, I said Nectar 3. So I got Nectar 3 up. I will put saturation down here at the end of my vocal chain and really bring a little bit of warmth to it. You can also get this effect if you do a lot of analog gear like tape. I heard a lot of people say live by recording it into a tape and bouncing it back into the DAW, and they get that same feel, that same warmth to the vocals, same warmth to the beat and everything. So a lot of people live by that. Me, I always wait till after I get everything dialed in that I want and then start adding saturation in later and really dial in the saturation that way. Is it right? No. Is it wrong? No. There is no right or wrong when it comes to mixing. It's whatever you feel. So, second verse. Let's go ahead and dial in the second verse right here. And again, I don't think it's much I have to do to it. Automation, we're gonna turn that off and turn the delay back on here so we can really hear it.
I mean, I saw you out west. Knew it was a party, but I didn't get dressed up. Yeah, you know me well, and I always be a mess. But baby, I still got your name tatted on my chest like.
I want to go through and get tatted on my chest. We're gonna turn it on for tatted on my chest. Hear how that
I
sounds.
still got your name tatted on my chest like.
And we're gonna move it over. I think I'm gonna just take tatted off my chest. I think I'm gonna just keep the light because it's tatted on my chest actually interfere with the light.
Got your name tatted on my chest like. It was good to.
And I like how that sounds. And then we're gonna cut off the delay again.
It was good till it wasn't. Knew it was a phase, but I wouldn't call my bluffing. Cause every other second I'd be staring at you blushing. You know it was worth it, so don't say it. So don't say it was for nothing. We have.
And I do like how that sound. We're gonna leave that there. And again, I'm not messing with the hook again. I'm gonna do that off string. Just know the same thing I did for this hook, I'm gonna do for the second and the last hook. We're just gonna move right into the last verse for now and add the delay to this.
Cause you're my one and only. Gonna settle down, love you right and slowly. Committed to a fast life, but now you own me. Fast life, but now you own me. And I owe you. Yeah, I. Life, but now you own me. And I owe you. Yeah, I do notice all the shit that you do. Wanna see you come through. Yeah, you've been too alone. Watch each other move. Yeah, you see me be grown. And when they break your heart, man, it chills to the bone.
I might not need to add this in here, but I want to hear how it sounds before I completely
break your heart, man, it chills to the bone. We got the history.
Yes, I can leave that in there. I do like how that sound. So again, as far as the verse goes, I pretty much got everything situated with that. I'm gonna have to go back through, do the hook. But yeah,
break your heart, man.
I'm enjoying how this is sitting right now. If you find this useful, hit that subscribe button for me, and definitely leave a comment. Again, let me know how can I improve this for your listening experience, for your watching experience. Let me know if you have any questions, anything you want me to go over specifically about mixing and mastering or music production. Let me know, and I would do a video about it, or I would go over it live just like this. And again, if you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button. I plan on doing this every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're enjoying this. And we're going to continue.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock.
So as far as the beat goes, when I made the beat, I made sure the beat stood out the way of the vocals. So it's not too much I have to really worry about. The biggest thing that I have to worry about as far as getting in the way of the vocals are the strings, because I feel like the strings sit in the same frequency as the vocals.
Loved you to fade, but now I'm thinking we should talk.
So I might have to spread the vocals out a little bit more. I mean, spread the strings out a little bit more so they're not sitting directly where the vocals are sitting. But I feel like everything else is fine. I might have to turn up the percussions a little bit.
Put you on top, made my mistake.
Because they do get lost inside the beat and behind the vocals. So I may have to touch up on that later. And the bass, I don't think I have to do anything to the bass, but we're going to see once we start mixing the beat. I might save that until tomorrow. As far as mixing the beat and everything, I'm going to save that until tomorrow. So y'all let me know if y'all got any questions down in the comments again. Right now I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of saturation to my vocal chain right now, just so I can see how it sounds and start dialing that in. So we're going to go ahead down here, go to the saturation, and there's lots of it, lots of different saturation types and everything. Again, I'm not an expert when it comes to saturation or even how to use saturation. So I'm just going to play around with this until I find something that I like the sound of.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved you to fade, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering if love's real, then why aren't we? We got the history, we got the put you on top. Made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved you to fade, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past.
So right now I'm liking the warmth around 25, 30, somewhere around there. That's what I'm liking so far.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Loved you to fade, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering if love's real, then why aren't we?
Yeah, I like it around there. That is a good amount. And now I'm about to dial it in for the hook also. So we're going to go ahead and open up this and dial in the saturation here.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to fate. We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right. No, you missed days in the rain and the shine. Yeah, we did it all, yeah, we've been through the highs. There was the lows, but that's nothing to hide. My one and only, yeah, my ride or die. I mean, I saw you out west. We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds.
See, for the chorus, I'm not finding that direct line that I like I did with the verses. So I'm gonna leave it around the same. I know I don't need as much because when I'm downloading it more, I'm not liking how that sound is. I think I'm gonna leave it on warm for now. And why you acting up on me? So I think I'm gonna leave it on warm for now and leave it right there.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no.
Now one thing I do hear that I want to add in is a stereo widener on the hook. I do want to spread that out just a little bit more. So I'm going to add that in there, and I want the low ends to be as mono can get, because I really don't want any low end on the vocals. But for this, I really want like this we go about right here. I want that stereo a little bit, but I really want the high ends to spread out more than this. Again, I don't want to overdo it, so I'm just gonna test it out to see how that sound.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right. No, you missed days in the rain and the shine. Yeah, we did it all, yeah, we've been through the highs.
Seeing that right there help it from sounding mono and straight down the middle, because I really don't want it sounding like it's going straight down the middle while you listening to the song. You do want it to sound like it's filling up the whole room, like you sitting in the room with that person. So that stereo spread gonna help spread the vocals out, and hopefully by the time I finish mixing this song, it's gonna feel like that person is right there in front of you. And if you got headphones on, definitely feel like you in the room with them. It make you feel like they surrounding you while you listening to their music. This is the feel that I'm going for with this mix, especially with the laid back feel, and for the hook especially. I really want that to come across, and I want their vocals to sit up front and forward. That's why I spent the first part of the video cleaning up the vocals and making sure they're crystal clear. And then I just made sure I added all the extra effects to it, like delay, doing the delay at the end of each part, making sure I add the reverbs onto it and stuff like that. I really want that ear candy to come across and really warming up the vocals to you. So I'm going to go back and play it again with the stereo delay and without the stereo delay to see if it really make a difference. Because you always want to A/B test it before you set it in stone. So we're going to go ahead over here. And again, I'm using Ozone Imager. I'm using Ozone 9 Imager as far as my stereo spreader. If you got Logic, I know Logic got a real good stereo spread that you can use. So definitely check that out if you're using Logic. I'm pretty sure other DAW got stereo spread that you can use, but I'm not really using them. I'm only using Studio One and Logic. So let's go ahead and listen to it.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right.
Okay, and that was with the stereo spread, and I'm about to take the stereo spread out so we can hear it without.
We got the history, we got the time. Now in the moment, let's make up our minds. I don't regret no decisions, but this one I wanna get right.
And I hope you can hear the difference from what I'm playing before and after. Like after, I really feel like it's really feeling like she's covering the whole room with her vocals, versus here it sounds like it's straightforward, like right in front of you, straight ahead. And you can really tell the difference if you're inside the car and you listen to this within the car. You can really tell the difference.
We got the history, we got the time.
Now with the verse I want to do the same thing, but I don't want to use as much of it.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock.
And again with the verse, I want to just tap it. I don't want to use as much. So again, I'm gonna break this down in 3 sections. I got the high sections. The highs I want to spread a lot farther. So when you're looking at this grid right here, you look at this grid. This right here is the lows. The lows, you don't want anything. You want everything to fit inside this cone. If you got highs, the highs we want it spread out as much as possible. The mids, you want to spread out, not as much. So I always separate it. I want the lows. I always pull this down to 0. It shouldn't be any lows on the vocals anyway, but I still pull that down just in case. Then I have this section right here, which is the mid lows to high lows to mid highs, somewhere around there. And I always turn this up just a little bit. And again, I don't want to do too much as like the chorus. The chorus is the part that I want standing out the most. So I'm gonna do this very slowly, very slightly.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering.
Now I'm listening to it back now, and as I'm listening to it back, yesterday we removed the breaths in here, so I'm feeling like these right here, these breaths that we removed here, can actually be added back in.
My rock, left it to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing.
Now, will I leave them in? Definitely. I don't know. But as of right now, as I'm listening to it, and I don't have delay on those areas, I feel like I could leave those breaths in. I feel like they could add a little bit more atmosphere to it. And again, I might listen to this later and be like, no. But as of right now,
made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk about the past, about the present, how we walked away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got me left wondering.
Now, what I will do as far as the breaths goes, because I think the vocals is at a good volume, so I'm not gonna be doing any much changing to the volume, but I do want to go in and pull the volume of the breaths down some, so they're not standing out as much. So I'm gonna pull the volume of them down just a little bit.
Put you on top, made my mistake, but at one time you were my rock. Left it to left. Left it to fate, but now I'm thinking we should talk. about the past. About the past. About the past.
And again, the breath is still there. It's still adding a little bit more life to the vocals, but they're not overwhelming like they was before. Like,
Away.
I still want them to be there. I just don't want them to be as strong. And the way that I'm doing this is simply by turning down the volume and slowly turning the volume back up.
Away from one good thing that made our lives feel like spring. Got spring, got me left wondering, got me left wondering if love's real, then why aren't we? We got the history.
And again, I don't know if y'all can hear the difference of what I'm doing, but again, I just felt like the breaths is not necessarily needed, but I feel like the breaths brought a little bit of life to the vocals, especially to the verses. So I'm adding the breaths back in, but I am turning down the volume of the breaths. I'm leaving the life in there of the vocals. Again, you don't want to edit the life out the vocals. So I'm leaving the breaths in there, turning down the volume a little bit. So you can hear them, but they're not overwhelmingly noticeable. That's what I want to leave it at. That's what I want to keep it at. So I am going to do the rest of this off screen. Tomorrow I will be back and we're going to go over mixing the beat, how we're going to mix this beat, and we're going to get the vocals sitting right within the beat, or the beat sitting right around the vocals. That's what we're going to focus on tomorrow. I hope y'all enjoyed this screen. If you find it helpful, you find it useful, hit that follow button, hit the like button, leaves me a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me as far as my mixing process, my production process, anything like that, any question at all dealing with making music or getting your voice heard with your music, go ahead, leave me a comment down in the comments, and I will answer your question the best as I can, either in the comments or with a video. And I thank y'all for hanging out with